Hello guys, welcome back to Being Mrs. Fraser. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today's video is kind of a mix of cozy homemaking, fun DIY, hamburger making. As you can see, we're getting some ingredients into the bread machine to make some burger buns. We're also unpacking from a recent trip, painting a pumpkin nutcracker, getting ready for Halloween DIY, Halloween decor, decorating, fall decorating, and all the things. So if you're interested, if you enjoy these types of videos, make sure you subscribe. Come along and join my friends and family over here on YouTube. I would be very grateful to have you. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and jump in. Like I said, we are going to be making some burger buns in the bread machine. It's a super simple recipe. I will make sure to link it down below for you guys if you are interested. I've made it a few times and my family loves them. They do make some pretty large buns though, just so you are aware. But anyway, once I get all that into the bread machine, it does take about an hour and a half or so. So I'm gonna try to tackle all this laundry and other mess from our trip. So if you guys are new here, my husband and I just got back from a week-long trip to North Carolina. He had to go up there for work, and so I just tagged along. We left our kiddos behind and went on the road, just mom and dad, which was so scary, but so fun nonetheless. Even though I was kind of nervous, because my husband would still be working because it was a work trip for him, but we just drove. It wasn't too far. It's about 8. I think it actually took us about 9 hours because we did make a couple stops. Of course, we had to stop at Buc-ee's. There are 2 Buc-ee's on the way there. Actually, there's like 4 because you got to hit Daytona, which is by where we live anyway. And then you hit St. Augustine. And then there's one in Brunswick, Georgia. And then there's one in Florence, South Carolina. And then you basically drive another like 3.5 hours. And you got to our hotel. We were just outside of Raleigh in Holly Springs, if you know the area. It is actually a really nice upcoming area that we were staying in, and so yeah, it was super fun to kind of just get away from home, get away from, the hustle and bustle of every day, have a nice mom and dad break. However, reality hits when you come back home and you have to clean everything and get kind of caught back up. So I actually thought about doing the laundry at the hotel since I was there and I wasn't doing anything anyway. Have you guys ever done laundry in a hotel before? I never have, so I wasn't really sure. I feel like it's probably just like doing it in a laundromat, which I have done that before. I've taken like our large comforters to the laundromat. I've also washed clothes in a laundromat before, but it's been a really long time since I've washed clothes in a laundromat. So anyway, so basically I'm just back getting things back together. I washed everything. I don't know if you guys do this, but this is something I do. Anytime we come back from a trip with our whole family, with just me and my husband, I did it. But anytime we come back from a trip, I wash everything. When we pack, I always make sure we pack an extra 1 or 2 outfits, underwear, socks, shorts, pants, whatever you need for that outfit, because you just honestly never know if you're going to need it. And then so we also got shorted a day on our trip, which I explained a couple videos, I think it was ago, that our daughter's brakes went out, and so she didn't tell us until my husband was like, so how's the car running, basically the night before we left. And she's like, oh, I have a light on. It's been on for a couple days. Yeah, that was fun. Leave it to 16-year-olds to not tell you when the lights come on in their car on their dash. But anyway, we did get everything taken care of. We did end up leaving a day late though, like I said. These pumpkins also on my dresser, quick break here, but those are for an upcoming project that I am going to be sharing with you guys in probably a couple videos. It'll be a couple videos before you see that project, but I am so excited. I actually found those at a Goodwill in Holly Springs, and I got them for $1.99 a piece, where in stores you're looking at 6, 7, 8 even like upwards of like $13. So I thought that was a pretty steal of a deal, and I'm going to be painting those and doing something fun with them. So I hope if you aren't already, you'll subscribe and come back for that. I cannot wait to decorate for fall and do all the fun things. But anyway, I also wanted to go ahead and make my bed and just get things, you know, kind of tidied up. The house hadn't been vacuumed in over a week since we had been gone, and so that's all I'm doing. It's just, you know, catching up on life here back at home.
I do believe it.
I had asked you guys for suggestions on restaurants while we were up there too, and we ended up trying Danny's Barbecue, I think it is, in Cary, North Carolina. It's right near Raleigh. If you're near there, it's not too far, and it was like a little hole in the wall, but absolutely delicious. Definitely tops Memphis for me. We have had barbecue like all over around the United States. You know, all the popular places minus St. Louis. We've never got to St. Louis while we were in the Midwest, but it is what it is. Anyway, honestly, Kansas City was probably the worst barbecue I've ever had. No offense to anybody. I love Kansas City, but their barbecue is not it. But Memphis was definitely the best barbecue until we got to North Carolina, and North Carolina, Danny's Barbecue topped it all. It took the cake. So if you are in that area, live there, travel there, whatever the situation may be, you got to try that barbecue spot because it is absolutely delicious. But anyway, guys, the bread machine is ready to finish up the rolls here. I will, like I said, leave the link for these buns down in the description for you if you are interested. They are so easy. And you all know how much I love using my bread machine to create the dough and then just kind of go from there. It's super easy though, just, you know, dividing up the roll and it makes 8 buns. However, you might honestly be able to get like 10 out of this recipe if you made them a little bit smaller. It kind of, I guess, depends on how much of a bun you really want. Another thing too, you could always add like sesame seeds to the top. We didn't do that. I just feel like it's an additive that isn't necessary. It's extra money that I don't care to spend because sesame seeds do not make or break a bun for me. So that is definitely something that you can do if you are interested. I was noticing that the dough was very sticky, so I had to keep adding flour to it, and I have made these a couple times and have experienced the same situation, which is no big deal, just adding flour as you're kind of pressing the air out and then re-rolling them into little dough balls. So again, super simple recipe. Now, I did not use them for that night's dinner. I actually made something else, which you will see here at the end of the video. I made an absolutely delicious chicken pot pie orzo. It's pasta. It's the O-R-Z-O pasta. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but I think y'all catch my drift. So, but I did want to go ahead and pre-make them. I will actually be sharing a video, a YouTube short video of what I made to go with these rolls. And it is a hot honey chicken. It's absolutely delicious. We've also had sloppy joes with these rolls before. I love making homemade sloppy joes. My mom always used Manwich growing up. Do you guys know what Manwich is? It's super easy, and actually I really like it. However, I found a recipe. I think this is How We Bingham here on YouTube. If you guys don't know who they are a family that lives in Utah, and I've followed them for a long time. And the mom on there, I just forgot her, Mindy, shared these sloppy joes years ago, and my kids, I tried them, and my kids are like absolutely obsessed. So which I don't mind because they are really good, but it's so much easier than the can, you guys. I don't know if it's necessarily better for you, but they're absolutely delicious. So But just some ideas to kind of go with your burger buns. But again, these are so simple, so delicious, and they're nice, fluffy buns. And honestly, making 8 of them is perfect for my family size.
Music is fair to me singing. Come on, come on. Come on, come on.
I have to be honest, you guys, this is not the video that I was preparing to put out for you guys. I know everybody is wanting fall decor, and that is what I wanted to give you. But I had this video prepared, and I thought this one was the one to go up because I just could not bring myself to film this last week. You know, the last half of it was very, very, very heavy of a week. If you, you know, if you've been watching the news, you know what's going on. I don't want to say a whole lot because I don't like to get political on here. But man, I'll just, oh man, it literally makes me want to cry. You guys, I don't care where you come from. I don't care who, you know, I don't care who you voted for, who you whatever. You know, I try to show as much love as possible because that's what God wants us to do. And as you guys know, if you aren't new here, you guys know how much I love God and love Jesus, and He is my Lord and Savior. And yeah, so I don't know what to say because I'm going to start crying. But I'm just going to leave it at it was a very, very, very heavy week, a very historical moment in the United States. And I really feel like it shook us. And I don't know. I don't really know what to say about it other than, man, this world needs God. Oh, man. Man, I don't even know, you guys. The evilness in this world is out of control, and it is so sad, and it breaks my heart. Yeah, I think I'm going to move on from that, but because otherwise I'm going to sit here and start crying. But so that's why you guys are not getting a fall decor video yet, but I promise it'll be coming. It'll be the next video that you guys see. Fall decor will be going up. So I had my husband dig out the bins at the beginning of the week so that I could decorate for you guys and for us because I am so excited. I keep seeing everybody else's fall decor, and I'm so excited for the change up in the, you know, in my house. But I just, man, I can't say that I was not struggling mentally and emotionally. I really can't. So anyway, now that I've kind of talked about that a little bit, this is my pumpkin nutcracker that I found at Walmart. Oh man, you'll get lucky if you can find one. I'll tell you what, apparently they are super popular, and I just happened to come across 3 of them. So, and if you can't tell, I am in the hotel working on him. I actually bought him before we left, and I took him with us. So while my husband was at work, I worked on him for a little bit. I read some books. I went walking around the area. Just a lot of different things. You know, while my husband was working. And so it was kind of different, the situation in North Carolina. Well, the job was only like 5, 6, 7 minutes from the hotel. We're here at home. My husband drives a little over an hour to get to work every day. And so, you know, and depending on how the traffic is, because if you guys know, if you're from Florida, Orlando, I-4 traffic is absolutely crazy. And so, yeah, sometimes it can take even longer. I think the longest it's ever taken him to travel, I don't remember if it was to work one day or from work one day, but it took like 3 hours one time. So if you know, you know, it gets quite crazy on the interstate. So him having the only, you know, the less than 10-minute distance to drive to work was something. unusual for us. So he was getting back to the hotel at like 4 or 5 o'clock. Where here at home, he doesn't get home until more like, later on in the afternoon. Sometimes I will say that he does get home early if he's doing a job around the corner from the house. He has done many jobs over here. Sometimes he's also getting home at 6:30, 7:30, 8:30 at night. So it doesn't usually get much later than 8:30, 9 o'clock, but sometimes it does. Again, it's just based off that traffic and where the job is for the day. Sometimes he goes north of Jack. Sometimes he goes to Ocala. Sometimes he goes south down. I think he's gone to like Port St. Lucie or somewhere. I'm not even 100% sure, you guys, but he kind of goes all over the place. If it gives you any idea of how much he drives for his job, he's put 50,000 miles on his truck since he bought it off the lot with 9 miles. So it's been super crazy, but the distance was kind of funny. It was kind of weird, him being not back home because we were obviously in the hotel, but it definitely gave us more time to explore in the evenings. I will say, you guys, I was so cold up there. I am so used to this Florida heat and humidity that going up north, just that 8 hours north here, it was cold. I mean, their low temperatures, I think, were hitting like one of the mornings it was like 55 degrees, which is like burr. I was like, absolutely not. I wish I would have brought pants. I would have been comfortable in pants the entire time. I think the highs were in the upper 70s. I think the warmest it got was like 81, 82, 83, somewhere around there. Where back home here, it's, consistently was in the upper 90s, with, high humidity, where up there, I think the humidity barely hit 50%. So, your girl was cold. I was freezing. There was actually one day, for whatever reason, they kept the hallway at like 68 degrees, which is frigid. My house is kept at 75, and I'm cold in my house. So hallway was 68. I did turn the air up in the hotel room. I think I had it at like 73 or somewhere like that. However, it still felt really cold, but then it got too hot at night. My husband is a furnace. He's like a little heating pad. But there was one day, though, I was so cold, I could not get warmed back up. I went outside because I'm like, okay, at home I would just go outside and, I would get warmed up. Not up in North Carolina, you guys. I just could not figure it out. I even went for like a 30-minute walk to try to warm myself up, and it was just not working. I had to get in the shower and turn the shower on like a high heat to warm up because I was just chilled to the bones, and your girl does not like that. I like the heat. I like the humidity. I was never so thankful as I was for when we got home. We are officially moving on to the yummy dinner here. This meal was so good. I think my husband had like 2 helpings of it. He was absolutely stuffed. My kids loved it, and it was so easy. It's technically a 2-pot meal, but is a chicken pot pie or orzo. I don't know how to pronounce that, you guys. So if I am butchering that, I am so sorry. My pronunciation skills are not great. But anyway, so you're basically going to cube up some chicken. I had a little bit of a sous chef. My youngest daughter helped me cut up the chicken for this meal. And so I just added it to the pan and added some seasonings to it. If you're looking for the recipe, I will leave this one down in the description for you as well. So you can just like print it off and make it super easy that way. But I will say, I accidentally doubled the recipe. Not that it was a bad thing. There was plenty, and there ended up being plenty of leftovers also. surprisingly enough. But I did double the recipe, and I made the whole box of the pasta. But the recipe only called for like 8 ounces of pasta, and I used 16. So I did end up doubling everything. So I got the chicken breast, and then we seasoned that with paprika and a bunch of other things. I think like onion powder and garlic powder, and of course salt and pepper. And then I cooked that until it was done and removed that from the pot. And then I did go ahead and add an onion. I actually ended up cutting up 2 onions because for whatever reason, the onions were very tiny this last time I bought them, and so I did end up using 2 little yellow onions in some butter. And at the moment I actually forgot that I would double the recipe, so I didn't put enough butter there originally, which you'll see me add it here in a second. But I let the onions sweat out a little bit before I did add in the celery and the carrots. I probably could have let the celery cook a little longer. I'm not a huge fan of celery. I don't know. I can eat it cooked. It's fine. I wish I would have let it cook a little bit longer though, so it got a little bit softer, because I just don't like celery. And so that extra crunch just, I don't know. But if you like it, you don't probably have to cook it that long. I think the recipe called for like 4 or 5 minutes to cook the carrots and the celery. So I did go ahead and then got that butter melted down. Like I said, I added that. And then you're just going to make a roux with those vegetables in there with some flour added to that butter. Once that flour is absorbed into that butter real good, you want to cook that floury taste out of the flour, basically out of that roux. And basically by doing that, you're just letting it cook on the stovetop for a little bit, moving around so it doesn't burn, because it will burn very easily without having any more liquid in there once that flour does soak it up. So I did just add about half of my chicken broth, and then I threw in a sprinkle of chicken bouillon powder before adding in the rest of my chicken broth and my heavy cream. So again, this recipe was absolutely delicious. It got nice and thick. And then after I drained the pasta, I did add the pasta and the chicken back in once this once the vegetable mixture got back to a nice thickness. So again, I just added everything in and stirred it all together, let all the flavors just kind of marinate and come together and coat that pasta real nice, and they were absolutely delicious. I ended up making some drop biscuits, which I've shared that recipe before. If you're interested in getting it again, maybe you didn't get it out of the last video that I made it in, definitely let me know. I can type that out for you guys. But anyway, that's gonna be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys will come back, because we are decorating for fall next time. That is the next video you see. I promise that's what's coming up next. I also have a full pumpkin meal and a full apple meal, because if you don't like pumpkins, maybe you like apples. If you don't like apples, maybe you like pumpkins. Maybe you like both. I don't know, but we're gonna do a full meal with each of them. And those are 2 separate videos though. But yeah, so we're decorating for fall. We'll be doing some fun Halloween decor and some yummy meals. So again, I hope you guys stay happy, healthy, and safe. I hope you'll come back, and we will see you in the next one. Bye guys.
Congratulations.